everyone, I'm excited to be back on this page in Rooms of Wonder. Having a look, grabbing my it's heavy box of cards to choose our next picture and palette. So let's grab the next card that I am there's my marker. Number 71 is our next one. Oh, this one looks interesting. There we are. Now, let's have a look. I'm firstly having a quick glance thinking, well, there's no green on there, so it's probably going to be the kitchen. But let's have a closer look. Let's have a look at the back. So we've got slate grey, azure, the sort of blues, tangerine, marigold and black. I think that would, we could certainly do the kitchen with that. I'm hoping we get something with some really pretty bright colours for that one. Maybe I should have done those colours in there. But never mind, let's pick our pencils next. Excuse me. So Polychromos again. I've got this tray out first, which is got our blues. So I'm thinking these three are really going to be our sky blue, our light ultramarine and our ultramarine. They sort of match, I think. So that's my first bit of choosing. Oh, they're going to run away. Let's just pop those over there for a moment. Now we've got black again. We've had a lot of black. Like I have before, I'm going to grab a black and Paynes grey for our black. And we also have slate grey. Now to me these look like cold greys. That looks pretty similar to the blacks, to be honest. But I think I'll just grab the next cold grey 6, 5 and 4. I think we'll just have those. We might not use all of these shades, but we'll just grab them out for now. And now we're on to these. Now these are a bit more tricky. Hold it a bit closer. So we've got tangerine and marigold. Now the tangerines, these are sort of oranges, but they're not really the sort of bright oranges. Let me pull across the pencils. So these are our sort of oranges, but they don't really look like those. They look more like peach. I'm wondering whether this sort of cinnamon is a bit closer. Even though it's called tangerine, it doesn't look orange. So I'm going to go for the cinnamon, the terracotta, and then this darker one. I don't know if I really want to go like this brown. But it sort of works with both of those, the burnt sienna. So maybe I will grab that. And then for our marigold, they're sort of yellowy oranges, aren't they? But I'm thinking maybe I'll grab a maybe we'll go for the dark chrome yellow for that. I know it's not an exact match. And then maybe the orange glaze. Maybe those are working together. We might be able to get something working between all of them. That's my thought. So that is what I'm picking. You may not agree, but hey, let's just pop all these pencils back away and then get started. Okay, so as I said, we're going to be doing the little kitchen. Let's come in nice and close. Oh, pop it in the middle. There we go. And so here's our, just a quick reminder, there is our card. Okay, I'm not going to keep it there because it'll get on my nerves. Right. Oh, bang. Just hit my chair on the desk. So the first thing that catches my eye is that we've got lights and we've got light bulbs, and I like to colour those like they're shining on, but we have the dark chrome yellow. So I'm going to immediately just use that there and just sort of start. Now we've got a lot of black and grey, and I'm thinking we can do out some of our kitchen equipment, like, you know, these lights perhaps. Now with our slate greys, our cold greys, we can do a lot of silvery type effects, which is quite fun. So I think that's where I'm gonna go next? I've got my cold grey 4, had to check, it's it's really small, and I'm going to do this sort of light area, light fittings. I think we can go for a sort of slightly industrial silvery vibe. So what I'm trying to do is make them a little dark on the edge, fade towards the middle, leave a bit of white to make them look silvery and shiny, and I'm going to do each one the same, and that's how we'll sort of start. Now I'm thinking we could use our sort of orange and blues for the tiles and things, maybe, but I'll have a little think. Now as you see with this, I sort of jump around a bit, and that's because I sort of try to colour the things that obviously jump out at me first and then work through. Now we've got to think about the background as well, which is a little tricky. Oh, my stomach is gurgling. Don't know why. It's had breakfast. So let's take that across to the centre there. Grrr, my tummy goes. Crikey. I don't know what all those gurgles are for. Oh, it's so loud. Right. I'm sort of thinking, do I need to think about background? I'm thinking maybe the cinnamon for the background, or maybe a blue. We've got this colour is quite similar to the cinnamon, so I'm wondering about a blue. If we go with the lightest blue, let's do that first. So let's go with the sky blue, which is the lightest one first, and then we can use the dark blue on tiles and things like that, and it will stand out. So I don't normally get round to doing the background this early, but yeah, why not? So I want it quite dark on the edge, and then fade it as we go towards the middle like we have with all of the others. It's quite straightforward. So while I'm colouring away, I shall chat to you about what's been going on. What's been going on? Not much. It's not snowing today. That's that. My sister sent me a picture. She's very naughty. She's got lovely snow settling in her street. She lives up north. Up north, they've got more than us. And she said she keeps getting distracted watching the snow. Whereas here it snowed all day yesterday, but it didn't settle on the ground at all. And today it's just raining. It's cold. Obviously I've got my wrist warmers on. It's still cold, but it's raining. And I had a really annoying night. Well, I went off to sleep okay, and I slept until 4. And my son got out to the loo at 4. Woke me up. Well, I never blame anyone for waking me up, because something might have woken us all up. He got out, I nipped out, as you do, and I was nice and cosy and comfortable in bed, and then he said he was cold and he popped his blanket on, and my other son said he was cold all night, but he didn't put his blanket on. That was a bit silly. Anyway, I got back to bed, and I was really, really hot, and so I pulled the bedspread off my half of the bed, chucked it to the middle of the bed. Husband was snuggled up under it, and then I got cold, so I put it back, and then I got hot, and then I was like, ugh. I think it's my age. Hot and cold, hot and cold. I dozed off. I woke up boiling. Oh, it was just like, ugh. I mean, I'd had a really good sleep before that, so hasn't really affected my mood, my sleep, etc. It's just like, body, come on. Can you not just decide if you're hot or cold? Oh, it was just frustrating. I guess it's my age. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and they were talking about menopause and stuff, and how when you have a lack of estrogen, it causes your body to produce other hormones instead, which affect your temperature or something. So it can make you feel hot or cold or whatever. So, and it's what causes the hot flushes or flashes, depending on what you call them, and things like that. I don't know if I was having hot flushes. It just, oh, I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. We'll get through it. I feel like I've been sort of going through it for quite a while, and I just think, you know, maybe it's nearly the end and then I don't have to worry about it anymore, you know, rather than worrying about HRT and the side effects that come of that, and trying to get it because there's a shortage and things like that. But we'll see. Luckily it didn't affect my sleep too much. I did have a quick look at my tablet at 4 o'clock, which is really naughty of me. But anyway, I'm trying to think whether if I did alternate blue and orange tiles, would that look a bit just weird, or would it sort of look retro or funky or different or fun? I don't know. I'm going to try it. So I'm going to use my ultramarine first for every other tile. Now, if you don't want to be so controversial with your tiles, then use your light ultramarine for the other one. Okay, very old noise outside. I'm getting distracted. But have a look and see how you feel once I put the orange. I haven't decided which shade of orange yet in it. I don't know if that's a dog barking. It's such a strange noise. Anyway, never mind. Oh dear. So yes, I really ought to go out for a walk today because I didn't yesterday, but it's raining and cold. I think I'm gonna do these couple of videos. I'm going to finish this page actually because it's fun. I just want to, I'm excited, and finish this, and then maybe do some yoga. Yesterday I only managed 10 minutes of yoga. It was a really fast 10-minute yoga, which got me really out of breath, and I can feel that I did it today, you know, but I think I should do something a bit longer, so I might do trying to work out these tiles behind here. I've got a half an hour one. I was doing a sort of 5-part class and I haven't completed the final part, which was half hour, because when I sort of came to do it I didn't have that much time, so I did a different one. So I'm trying to work this out. Once I've done, oh no, it's got to be under that there, that bit there. Once I've worked this out, the other colour will be easier. Sorry, I do need to blow my nose first. So, yeah, so I need to do a longer yoga today. But I've only got these 2 videos planned to do, and then I need to edit them, and actually editing the big one, because I would do a compilation video for my YouTube members, and that'll take a lot of time. This is orange glaze, and while that's exporting, while that's exporting I can do my yoga, so it's quite good. It's how I find so much time for colouring, really, because people are like, how do you colour so much? And I mean, obviously I'm quite fast at colouring, which helps me colour a lot, but while I'm editing I colour because it's really boring. I mean, most of the time you're just waiting for files to upload or download, because this morning I was uploading to YouTube and that broke. I was like, oh, it's irritating. I wrote to customer support to see, I don't know if it's a glitch. The last 3 days I've set videos to upload and they've uploaded, and then when they go through something called processing and it crashes, and says we can't process, and I just have to delete it and start again. It's a bit irritating. So I wrote to the support to ask them if there was something I was doing wrong. I mean, I'm doing the same as I always do, so I can't see that, but you know, just to see whether there's a fault that they need to sort of investigate. So I did that, and I was saying something to my husband about the person I was chatting to, and he said, that's not a person, you know, that'll just be a bot. I was like, oh yeah, probably, yeah. Now, I'm going to think about the kitchen counter, this cupboard. The cooker could be sort of silvery, but what colour are we going to do the cupboard? Are we going to do it as sort of... Oh, let's use this. We've got our burnt sienna. I can hear such a strange noise outside. Anyway, we use the burnt sienna. It's quite dark actually, isn't it? But it does look a little bit orangey, so it should match in. I'm using it lightly because inside the cupboardy bit here I'm going to make it a little bit darker. So I'm just going to do it lightly here. I'm not sure what colour I'm going to do the rug yet. It'll come together. Well, I was going to say my brain will, but maybe not. I'm just going to colour all over that actually, and that, and I'll darken some bits after. I think it's easier that way. Okay, so I'm going to do under the handle, and under that handle a little bit darker, and inside the cupboard there. I think down this side might be darker too, and on the top there, or just help it to stand out a little bit. Now these bits, let's do the cross shelves in the same sort of lightish tone. I would never have an open cupboard like that in my kitchen. I had considered having an open shelf just to put my cookery books on, but in the end I decided it would be too they'd get too dusty and greasy. I find that anything left in the kitchen too long, even though I don't cook with loads of oil, you just get a sort of greasy dust. It's horrible. And also I don't like having stuff on display so people can see it. It's messy. I like things hidden in cupboards, particularly things like these saucepans and stuff. I would hide. I think we just need a little bit of shadow under the countertop. You could have done the countertop a different colour. I could have done it a different colour, but I sort of didn't. That's a bit thick, but it's too late now. It's done. Right. What have we got? We've still got... Let's do some more metallics. Just slightly darker grey now. I'm going to use the cold grey 5 and do some of the pots and pans. I'm thinking quite a lot of these I would do as if they were stainless steel. So basically just leave some white shine in the middle and make them a sort of silvery grey. I don't have all my cooking pans as stainless steel, but my saucepans are. We've got some that aren't. They're rubbish. I don't use them. Now those could be dishes, so I'll leave those. You know, like serving bowls type thing. I'll have a think about them in a minute. I was thinking maybe we could do a sort of mix of terracotta. But I'm going to do the saucepan. Silvery colour. I invented a new dish recipe last night. My boys couldn't decide if they liked it and thought it was really weird. So basically I want to do like a sauce for macaroni. I buy this wholemeal macaroni in the tiniest little pieces. It's so delicious. But because I can't eat cheese, and I don't like using like white flour and stuff, I'm going to do the mixer in metallic too. Then I needed a different sort of sauce. I realise here there's a tile I need to do, isn't there? So I cooked the macaroni as I always do with the vegetables. So I boiled it with some broccoli, some sweet potatoes, some sweet corn, some peas, some broad beans. So we've got a nice mix of veg in with our macaroni. So that was all fine. And I'm going to do the whole gadget, but I'm going to use a slightly darker, I think I'll use the Coal Grey 6 to make it a little bit different. So I did all that. And then for the sauce, like I sometimes try and make a sort of white sauce with soy milk and nutritional yeast, but my son hates nutritional yeast. So what I did instead was I made like hummus. So I blended chickpeas with lemon juice, extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper. I can't eat garlic, so I didn't put garlic in, and I can't eat seeds, there's no tahini. So that was all. And then I used it as I'm going to make that spoon silver, as a topping. So once the pasta was cooked on all the veg, I drained it and poured this mixture on and stirred it in. Yeah, I liked it. Terracotta. And do this mixing bowl in terracotta. I liked it. The lemony flavour, I put loads of lemon in. I used this it's called Sicilian lemon juice from Waitrose, and it's so zingy and zesty. It's lovely. So that was nice. Gosh, it's raining so hard. I can hear it on the window. But the boys weren't so sure. They added more pepper, which is fair enough. So did I. I didn't know how much. It's hard to know, isn't it? We need to do this tile. This is the orange glaze. It's always hard to know how much pepper and salt to put in. Just gonna fill in a few bits there. There we go. Now, I'm struggling to think about, this is like a Kilner jar, isn't it? See-through. I'm thinking very light grey would work, but what's inside it? So I'm using, this is the Coal Grey 3. I can't show you because the names come off. But what's in here? Now thinking about the colours I've got, do I want it to be something that's blue, something that's orange, something that's grey, or something that's black? Not really. It's probably flour or sugar, so I'm thinking maybe I'll just leave it white. I don't like leaving things white. But I'll keep thinking. Right, I'm going to use the cinnamon now, which I haven't used yet, I don't think, and I'm going to use it for the rug. A sort of contrasting colour, so we've got our wall and our rug, which was sort of lighter shades of the tiles, and I hope that makes the tiles stand out, which I think is nice. They're bright, like the feature of the kitchen. Again, I haven't shown you the name of that because it's too small. Okay, the cooker. Now I'm thinking black and Paynes grey, maybe. I've decided what colour to do that box as well. I'm going to start with black. I'm going to do the main parts black, I think. Like my oven is black. So I know in USA you might not necessarily have cookers like this. So we have the oven part underneath and then a hob on top. Sometimes mine isn't like this. Mine has a separate oven piece with no hob. There's just the oven, and that goes under my worktop, under my counter. And then I have a separate hob, which is with the burners on, which is set into the worktop. And the reason I had them separate was the sales lady said, with this you get a little gap between here and it gets all dirty, and if you have the hob set into the worktop it stays nice and clean, and she's very right, it does. Which, well, if people clean it after they use it. Anyway, oh, that's a bit of the blue, isn't it? But yeah, it usually gets clean. But ours has we have two ovens on ours, which is nice. I expect I'm going to make it quite black inside. I expect most people do these days have two. Oh, We might not see our pan. I think we will. 2 ovens, so you can sort of choose whether to put on 1 or 2, which is useful. One of ours has a light inside. Well, they both do, but for some reason only one of them works. The Paynes grey, we use that for all the rest of the little bits. I'm going to use it a bit more lightly so we can see the difference between the grey and the black. I'm going to leave some white on here to try and make it look like there's a bit of a shine. Not too much though. Let's make it a little smaller. There we go. Yeah, I just put a reel up on YouTube this morning. I had no idea that you could put reels on YouTube. And then I realised what they were. I sometimes see them. I'm going to use the sky blue to do that bit that I missed. So I don't know if I'll do any more, or if they'll be popular, or if anyone will be at all interested. I don't know with these features, whether it's worth the effort or not, you know. This is the light ultramarine, and I'm going to use it for this box. Now we have this sort of plug sockety bit. I've got of grey left, so let's use that. This is the cold grey 6. Why not use it? Don't know. Sorry, just talking to myself. Now normally this would be white. The plug might not be, but the socket would be. I'm just going to do it in light grey because you know me, I don't want white. Look, I don't like that. What colour could it be? I know. Brown sugar. There we go. You don't even really notice it. Now I'm going to do the lid. I was thinking of doing it black, because the next one here is black, and the one above is black, or silver. I think it's supposed to be silver, but it looks very black. Maybe if I do it a lighter silver, it'll work. Oh, I'm cold. So I'm going to use my cold grey 3. Let's try this. Just fade it, so less and less layers. And the same on this side. I realise there's this sort of patterning on here. I will deal with that in a minute. And I think we can just add a bit of shadowing under here by putting some extra layers in. And it's quite a cheating, I suppose not really cheating, but it's just quite easy just using the one colour. Trying to put a bit in under there. My pencil's getting a bit small. Now I'm just having a look and thinking if I'm happy, which I am. I need to get my white pen out. Oh, there we go. This is a white Posca. We'll start by following Johanna's lines like we always do. I keep thinking I've missed something. I can't see anything missed, but I've just got this sort of feeling. It's very strange. Now I'm going to add a bit of shine onto some of these metallic items like that, and then add some more sort of lines like we have for our other bottles, just coming down. And we'll put a little bit on each side of here as well, because we have with the others. I'm not convinced it worked that well, but I'm going to sort of match them up. Okay, so let's grab our card again. And yeah, it's this sort of road look. So it doesn't look much like a road, but there's what I did. I think we've captured the sort of warmth in there, but it doesn't look as summery as the picture, but anyway, I'm happy with it. So so that's that one, and we've got one more, and I'm really excited to see what the next card is going to be. So I will be probably going to have a cup of tea and then coming back and recording it almost straight after. Should we try and make it straight though? Think that's straight? I'm really rubbish at telling whether it's straight, but I think my son said to me, because the camera's got a slightly fisheye lens, you can't always get everything really straight. So that was kind of him to sort of humour me. But I don't know, I think I'm just always on the squiff. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day, and remember to subscribe to the channel so you get a notification when the last video in this little series comes out. But for now, thank you so much and happy colouring.